Anime fans have a few screws loose. Despite claiming to be a compassionate community brought together by a common love, it would be far more accurate to dub them pompous, pretentious, or pea-brained, with everything from their dim-witted gatekeeping to senseless senses of superiority, childish and ill-conceived hierarchies, and even blatantly ignorant claims, the most popular of which would have to be between "the sub is always better than the dub" or "all CGI is garbage." I think it's safe to say that my criticisms are based. Now, I by no means intend to insult every anime fan. I need some people to subscribe and watch my videos after all, wink wink, so I'll be clear. I'm only referring to the loud majority giving anime a bad name, and not the fanbase as a whole. Maybe you're one of the peace-loving few who wishes to share the love from a pure place of kindness, and if you are, good on you! I'm not. I'm Ken-chan, and you're wrong. Here's why. What is anime? According to the people who made it, cartoons. All of them. In the West, we've just romanticized the word to refer only to animated works of Japanese style or origin, and in the interest of not being annoying, that's what I'll go with too. Whether you're a sweaty degenerate, aka seasoned veteran like me, with innumerable years and series under your massive belt, or a well-liked and contributing member of society who barely has any idea at all about what anime is, you've heard of it and can probably recognize a few of the more popular characters, like iconic duo Ash Ketchum and Pikachu, or the last son of the dead planet, Son Goku. Its popularity
has grown
exponentially over the years as the craft behind its creation has been continuously refined to draw in ever greater audiences. Perhaps culminating in this season's breakout phenomenon, Chainsaw Man, which I'll be using as a case study on the first of two things I want to say about anime today. Now, this is going to be very corny, but bear with me here. Anime is a way of life. This sounds stupid, I know, but have you ever heard of the live-action television community or music community? Just because you liked Stranger Things, it doesn't open up avenues for people to recommend to you Grey's Anatomy, The Big Bang Theory, or Boys Over Flowers. Likewise with music. Eminem, Adele, Pink Floyd, and BTS all have their draws, but most people won't want anything to do with at least one of them. Anime is different. If you've ever watched a single one all the way through, that opens up the floodgates. Attack on Titan turns into Cowboy Bebop, then Spy Family, Gurren Lagann, and Your Lie in April after that. All vastly different if those sounded unfamiliar, but on the basis of them all being anime, they're bundled together with this quiet expectation that you must see them all if they're any good. Enter Chainsaw Man. The most hyped I believe any anime has ever been leading up to its debut. It is to anime what Avengers Endgame was to the MCU. Some form of climactic point everyone awaited with bated breath, whether to see it fail or bask in its glory. That's an incredible feat. It had absolutely nothing to do with any property to have ever aired. The team working on it was largely young and inexperienced, and honestly, the premise was downright generic. But it was crowned Anime of the Year before a single trailer was released, and it boasts a large enough following now that there may be truth to that. Ken-chan, what does that have to do with the whole way of life thing? Shut up, I'm getting to it. The experience of the anime fan is cyclic. Watch an anime. Listen to people who think they know better, call it mid. Be forced to watch what they think is good. Play it in the background while you do something else so you can say you watched it while you tell them their taste is mid too. This generally goes on until you quit watching it or die with little variation along the way. Whether these exchanges are with real people or some idiots like me on the internet who shouldn't have a platform, that's just how these things tend to be. By virtue of anime being imported from a foreign, non-English speaking land, we don't know much about the people making it, and it doesn't get news coverage, noteworthy critique, or anything of the sort. Which is why I believe it becomes so community driven. There's a lot of it. It's an entire medium, and no one person can endeavor to consume every anime ever made, so we instead turn to those more knowledgeable than ourselves to point us in the right direction. Whether it's the guy on YouTube, Reddit, or in the back corner of the classroom who writes something in his book every time someone makes fun of him, we need someone else's account on an anime before we devote what may be anywhere between a night or a few months of our time to completing it. As this goes on, you grow an attachment to and form a connection with that faceless voice online. They are, after all, the only person you can share your thoughts on and feelings about some of these anime with. Maybe you then go on to start getting the people around you to give anime a chance, or find a good friend who happens to already like it and form a connection around that. Is this healthy? Probably not, but no one who loves something would want to see it go unappreciated, and that's usually where people start walking down the loud and unsavory path, forcing their opinions as facts down your throat, the way I'm trying to do right now. Though I've drifted a bit from whatever point I was trying to make, that's the idea behind the whole way of life thing, and why Chainsaw Man has been the beneficiary of such a culture. Its main character, Denji, is someone who's always been alone, mistreated, and judged unfairly. The story follows more his simple pursuit of happiness than any high adventure, quest for righteousness, or inspirational journey to accomplish some lofty goal. Bro just wants to cop a feel and get some jam on his bread. Anime fans who, especially in the past, felt unjustly ostracized would obviously fall in love with a man they feel they can relate to who has desires as simple as theirs, which have no right being as unattainable as they end up. Only what they want is instead to get anime loved, as I said before, which is difficult with anything niche, as people who like Drake and sports would have a hard time understanding. This is the kind of quest which goes on endlessly and is especially difficult to quit when those you formed connections with along the way keep pulling you back in. Now, I feel like I've talked in circles enough about that to help get this video to its target length, so I'll move on. According to the Oxford English Dictionary, and I have no idea who gave them authority on the language their country made that they've been studying for 1,000 years, art is the expression or application of human creative skill and imagination, producing works to be appreciated primarily for their beauty or emotional power. Yes, art is anime. Okay, I probably should have flipped those words around, but you get the idea. Outside all of the cult-like behavior I tried to justify before, anime is by itself a form of art unlike any other, an expression of human creative skill and imagination, something worth appreciating for its beauty and emotional power. That's not something to forget or overlook simply because it's a collaborative work. From the series that embody the words "every frame a painting" to Mob Psycho 100, they all seek to connect with their viewers on an emotional level and deliver some form of lasting impact. Whether the lasting comes in the form of a consistent presence in your life that will outlast you, like One Piece, or as a deep impression, the likes of which will never match how X-Arm or Ranking of Kings made me feel for vastly different reasons. One being a masterpiece to go down in history and the other being Ranking of Kings. From the harmonious melodies and bopping jams to Sakuga supercuts, free creative liberty, and character writing compelling to all of my low-life brethren, it cannot be argued that anime is the kind of thoughtless and mass-produced junk ignorant onlookers think it to be. That only applies to isekai. I wanted to figure out a specific example to use here to really drive the point home, but I have enough ammunition for the thumbnail already and you're tired of my voice. I'm watching you, I can tell. Thanks for 1K subs, and as I experiment with thumbnails and titles over the next few videos, tell me what you think. Like the video if you liked the video, dislike the video if you disliked the video, and tell me why down below, for the criticism helps me grow. I'm 2,000 watch hours away from monetization monetization, so I genuinely appreciate you watching this far into the video and hope you can share this or any of my other videos with a friend. If you're new, the video on screen's a good one to move on to next, and if you like what I do, consider supporting me over at patreon.com/samuex607 to help me upload higher quality videos more consistently and explore doing this for a living. This outro's half the length of the video, so goodbye, Kenchan signing out. I'm going to shoot those birds which won't shut up.